Hello, and welcome to my tutorial. This is the knit bag tutorial, so let's get right into it. You'll need two colors of yarn. I'm using this yarn from Fabricland, and I'm also using this yarn from Vegan Yarn, which is my favorite now, and I'm going to be needing circular knitting needles. I believe these are the size 7.5. You're also going to need a crochet hook. This is my 5.5 millimeter crochet hook size, and what you're going to need to do is you're going to start off by making a loop and put it on your knitting needles. Then we are going to cast on however many stitches for the size of bag that we want. So I will be casting on 60. This will make me have like a really small bag, as you've seen in the thumbnail in the beginning of this video. Once I've casted on 60, you want to make sure that they are facing all one way. We don't want this to get tangled while we're going to knit in the round. I'm going to then push the stitches around my knitting needles so that I can start knitting in the round. So once it's like this, then I will start to knit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the first loop, just like so, wrap that yarn around and pull it back under. So that's the knit stitch that we're going to do for the whole bag. So we're going to go under again, like so, wrap that yarn around and bring it forward. So that's the knit stitch. Once I do that, do the whole row. So I've done the first row of just knit stitch, and then I'm going to do a couple more rows with green, and then I'll show you how we're going to switch into our white color. I love this tutorial. It's very simple, but yeah, there's a little bit of tricks. So you'll know when you finished a row when you see like the tail end here of your piece. This is where we're going to now change into our next color. So this is where we will always change colors when we need to. So I'm going to start off by doing my knit stitch, but grabbing that white yarn instead of the green yarn. We are now starting to knit with our white yarn, so we'll just keep doing the knit stitch with our white yarn until we want to change again. And sometimes you might want to attach the end of the white with where we are once we hit the back area, just so that it doesn't like get untied. This is just what I do. I know there's like, you don't really have to do this step, but I just like to do this so I know that everything's secure and nothing will fall out. Once I've done that, then I can just continue knitting in the round with my white yarn, just like so, and I'll do a couple rows in white. I'll meet you guys back when my bag is complete. Okay, so I have finished my bag. So as I said, you can make this bag as big as you want, as tall as you want. I'm just making a really small one. Now that I have this done and I'm facing the back of my work, so where I kept making my color changes, I'm going to cast off with my green color. So to cast off, you're going to knit one. Oh, you're going to knit one. And then you're going to knit two. And then you're going to carry that first stitch over the second stitch, over the second, just like so, and to repeat that until I literally have this whole row casted off my sticks, okay? So now that I've casted off the top of my bag and now it's off, I have like the one loop still on my knitting needle. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go under 2 loops across from it, wrap that yarn, and then I'm just going to pull through that one loop. You could also do that with your crochet hook if it's easier. Okay, and pull that through. So we should just have our little square. Okay, so the bottom should be open, and then we have the opening up here for our bag. Now what we're going to do is we need to add the handle. Okay, so again, you can make this handle really super long, or you can make it like a little cute bag size. What I think I'm going to do is I would like to do a long one so that I could throw it over my shoulder, but I don't really like working with this yarn for like too much because like the pieces are super tangled. So just for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to make a short one, but I'll tell you how you could do the long version. So I have my 4 stitch markers. You can also use like 4 strings of yarn. So I'm going to take my stitch markers like so. where we cast it off, like where we ended off, should be the side of our bag so that we have a clean side. We don't want where we were changing colors, like here, to be the front of our bag. Kind of want that to be the side of our bag, okay? I'm going to set my stitch marker when I grab 8. So all we need to know is that we need to grab 4 in the front and then 4 in the back, okay? So we have here, and then we need to check here. I'm just gonna 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just gonna place a stitch marker there and then count 4 from that marker. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and place my other stitch marker there for this yarn. So I should have a total of 8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I have to go to the other side. So once you fold your bag down again, you have to get the other. Place my stitch marker. So it looks so messy right now because the yarn is just so like flimsy, but yours shouldn't look like this at the beginning. But this is what you should have now, okay? So stitch markers front to back and 8 stitches on the side. Because what we're going to do is, let's start on this side, and we're going to cast back on the 8 stitches. Here you can just go through the 1 loop. So like, instead of going through the 2 loops, you just go through the 1, like so. So you see there's two loops. The 1 just makes it a bit easier actually to cast on. And now what we want to do is we want to count how many stitches are from this marker to this dark blue marker, which is like this side. So we want to know how many stitches go along there, because that's what we are going to cast on our hook, okay? So I'm going to count right here. Let's see, roughly it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I'm going to cast on like so, 22. So I'm going to wrap the yarn around my finger, and I'm going to go in between and on the hook. And I'm going to cast on 23. If you want your bag to be super long, you would cast on like 40 if this says 23, because you want to have your strap to be very long. So this is the time where you will make your strap super, super long, but I'm going to make my strap very small, and then maybe I'll make another piece on my own time and make my strap really long. Now that I've casted on my 22 stitches, what we're going to do is we go to the side, so the middle of our other markers on the opposite side, and we're going to cast on those 8 stitches. So just like we did to the other side, you're going to go under the 1 loop, wrap that yarn around and pull through. So now we just cast it on 1, and we have to cast on 7 more. Okay, just try to weave through those 7 stitches. So I've casted on those 8 stitches. I have my 23. You can kind of push them down your needle if they're getting a bit tight. I have to cast back on another 23 stitches. I counted 22 or 23 on the opposite side, so now we have to cast back on 23. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 23. Okay. So now that I've done my 23 cast on, so now that our yarn, that we're in position, we're going to just knit all these stitches. The first stitch is going to be a bit loose, but it's string where we first started. And then we keep knitting all these stitches. Okay, so I've officially knitted the first 8 stitches there, and now I'm going to just go across and knit the 23 stitches that we first casted on. So now I'm doing my last stitches of the 23 on the side. I'm just knitting those. I think it'll make more sense the more you do the rows, and if you choose a different yarn than me. This one's really slimy. But yeah, so see, I'm knitting just around and around now. Okay, so I'm knitting my 23 stitches, then I knit the 8, then I knit the other 23, then I knit the 8, and I just keep going around and around until it's as thick as I want. And then obviously you can add in your second color, but that's all we're doing. So I'm just gonna knit in the round with this green. I think I'm done adding colors because I just can't be bothered with this yarn anymore. But yeah, that's basically it. So I'll meet you when it's time to cast off. If you want to add in a second color like white, you'll want to do it when you're at your 8 at your side area. You don't want to do it when you're at the handle because you don't want that there. So try to cast in the white when it's on your 8 side here. So I've done 6 rows for my handle of my bag, and now I'm going to cast off. So where I started is where I'll also be casting off, and we all know how to cast off. We're going to knit the first 2 stitches and then carry that first stitch over the second stitch, and then knit this one and then carry that second one over, and then repeat that step, carry that over. So I will cast off my bag handle and then I'll meet you guys back after that. I have casted off everything and I have the one loop on my needle. It's just easier. I'm gonna go across underneath there and under there, and then I'm gonna pull that like a slip stitch. And I'm just gonna go. Okay, so I've kind of secured that a bit. You have that little bag shape. Now you can go in with your yarn and kind of add this detailing, so I'll show you guys how to do that, because it has like the yarn here might be looser than the yarn that we just casted off, so I'll show you how to do that. But first, let's do this bag. Let's close it up. So you're going to turn the bag inside out. You're going to grab your crochet hook and you're going to weave it through the bottom, like at the very bottom stitches. So you're going to go from one side and across to the other side. Place it on your crochet hook and you're going to pull through and then wrap that yarn around that's attached to your yarn ball and pull through again, just to secure it. And you can pull the short string just to make it tighter. And then we're literally, it's kind of hard to see because these are pearls, but you're literally just going to weave wherever feels natural and right through, and we're going to make like this type of stitch. So I'm just going to go through, wrap the yarn around my hook, pull it through, and pull it through again. Okay. Wrap that yarn around. You want the stitches to be close, but not like super close or super far apart, because we obviously don't want things falling out of our bag. So like so, and like so. Okay, so now I'm at the end. I'm just gonna pull that through. I'm going to cut that yarn and pull it through. Make sure that it's secured. Be secure. Let's turn it inside out, or the correct way. Ooh, nice. So we have a nice little finish there. Super cute. What you're going to do is you're going to take your crochet hook and you're just going to go through the middle. Let's just go through. You go through the middle there. Place the yarn on my hook and pull it through. And then in between the stitches, because I just have a larger crochet hook, I'm going to make this stitch in between all of the stitches. So I think this is either a single crochet stitch. I'm going to make single crochet stitches all the way around here, onto this side here, and back around. If you want like a tighter finish around the handle, you might need to skip a stitch or two. So I'm here. I'm not gonna go right directly where, like right next to me. I'm gonna kind of jump over, because especially with my yarn, it's just so like stretchy. So you might not have to do this if you're using like a more stiff yarn, but I just have to like skip a stitch sometimes because we don't want it to like look wobbly. We're kind of like cinching it in, like we're kind of tightening in these stitches. To do my last single crochet stitch, But once I have 2 loops on my hook like so, I'm going to go across into the beginning stitch, wrap that yarn around my hook, and pull through all of the loops to attach everything together. And then I'm going to snip off that yarn, and then I'm also going to wrap it and pull through that one loop, and then that's like fully secure. Okay, like so. And honestly, feel free to like do whatever you want, and like you could even add the white on the top, but I think I might just do it like that after. Thank you guys for tuning into my tutorial. I really hope that you liked this one. Please share, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.